Valerie, with Paul's MSA, I know that you have helped him a lot with his speech, but I remember you guys worrying that, you know, that you were kind of becoming a nag and a teacher, and it's hard for a spouse. So how has that been for you, having his friends volunteer as volunteers in his communication circle?
It's taken lifted a huge burden. What's most important for me is that Paul and I be able to communicate. Communication is the crux of a relationship and keeping a relationship going. And to think of losing that, it's still frightening because it's happening. But I've been able to benefit from the fruits of the work that everybody has done in his communication circle. I haven't had to worry about any of the technicalities of doing speech sessions, and I have never once done a speech session. But I've been free to be everything else that I have always been as Paul's partner, his wife, his friend. We've continued to be able to do things together, but we haven't had to schedule speech sessions just in and of themselves. So, but I have benefited from the ambient kind of communication and learning.
Mm-hmm.
I've made note and I've practiced them in our conversations. So I can say to Paul when he starts if he's talking to me when I'm, say, in the kitchen and I'm not, can't see him, and I haven't a clue what he's talking about, I know to come in and say, now what is the subject matter you're talking about? And he'll say, I'm talking about the piece of art on the wall. Then I can say, oh, and then suddenly all the dots connect and I know what he's saying. So I've learned to ask for context. I've learned to ask him to slow down. I've learned to ask him to separate his words without feeling that it's going to in any way be an affront. So, and I've also learned to wait out his thought because at some point in the sentence or in the paragraph, I'm going to connect with something and then I know that it's all going to fall into place. So I've learned without having to apply it in a speech session per se.
Thank you. You really so nicely just summarized some of the strategies that are helpful when somebody has a significant communication problem.